What's up, Sports Talk Florida? It's your girl, Baby Ruth the Truth here, letting our followers know about the rebooted XFL League that is kicking off February 2020. I had the opportunity to attend the Tampa Bay Vipers' very first official practice this afternoon. After practice, we were able to speak with GM and head coach Mark Trisman about his aspirations of this season. We also had a few minutes to speak to returning USF Bulls player Quentin Flowers and Aaron Murray. Stay tuned.
Appreciated that, and it was fun to see so many people out here. Thank you. I'll just leave it open to questions.
Well, Mark, obviously this is a watershed day for you. Just what was it like, thinking the first time going out there on the field with these guys all together as a group?
Yeah, it was awesome. We had very good meetings this morning, great attention. Guys were really into football. They took it very professionally. Guys were taking notes, attentive to the coaches. Some real intelligent guys out there who obviously love football, and we got a long way to go, but it was a good start out with the walkthrough as well. A lot of good attention, as you guys saw. We got some things done in a short period of time.
I know that when we talked, there was a high emphasis on the love of the game and really honoring the game of football. Did you see that today?
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, we won the day today. We'll see what happens tomorrow, but we got a lot out of it today. Players really locked in. Coaches were excited to coach. A lot of us haven't coached for a while, so it was great to get up in front of the team and to interact with the players. They were very interactive. They asked great questions. They're really interested in what we're doing and how we're doing it, not just the football side of it, but how we're going to develop our culture on a daily basis. It was a lot of fun.
What were some of their questions?
Well, the questions were football questions, but there's also questions about what about the music? They're taking the what do they say, taking the cart ahead of the horse. There's a lot of things they want to see happen yesterday, and we just started today. And we try to give them the answers. They're a wide generation. They deserve to know why we're doing things, and I think that's the biggest thing we're going to try to do each and every day is why is it this way? We're going to tell them we're going to have a reason relative to the science of football, or it's going to be because it's the best for our environment socially and psychologically, emotionally along the way.
Do you kind of like that? Think there's like an extra layer to the process in that respect, in that sense?
Well, the thing that we told the players yesterday, and I told them in our first night is, they're really lucky because every player that we have, we wanted. Our coach made a decision that he wanted to coach this player. And not many players get to come into that environment where the coach that's going to be coaching him wants to coach him and believes in his talent and his ability and did the background to character off the field as much as character on the field. And we'll see how it all comes to fruition. That's why we're here. We're going to find out a little bit more tomorrow. And as I always say, we'll never know exactly the kind of team we have till sometime late April.
Mark, the main question we get from fans that are kind of curious about this new league is, number one question is, how's it going to work? And what would you tell fans that? And maybe some of the players have asked you, how does this work? How does the exercise
Well, I think that it started early this year. When Oliver Luck went around the country and hired 8 coaches, and then we had the financial backing to do it. One thing I did tell the players, we were all up in New York last week with the coaches. The XFL is for real, and the commitment to Mr. McMahon is serious, and this is going to happen. And it's our job not to worry about all the peripheral things that are going on. It's our job to do 2 things: put a quality football team out on the field that our community and our players can be proud of. That's certainly number one on the hit parade, and get out in the community. And our players want to do that. Our players are not your average players. These guys have grit. They have scars all over them. They've been on 4 or 5 different teams. They've been cut a bunch of different times, most of them. And they're playing for the love of football and the love of the game. And you really see that in their demeanor even early on the first day. Now, they're not tired. They haven't had any hitting. They haven't gone through the drudgery of, a long span of time where they've been working. But today was a great day. And tomorrow we'll get started, and we'll start over at day 0 and work our way to try to finish the day strong.
What about a guy like Quentin Flowers? I know he's seeing him in person, just what do you expect out of him, and what do you see out of him?
Well, I think we expect out of him what we've seen. I said it early on that he can do a lot of different things really well. He's explosive, he's exciting, and people around here know him and have seen him play, so they can pretty much evaluate him as well as I can at this point, and we'll see how it goes. We got a long way to go. The one thing we have on this team is there's going to be competition at every position. There's no doubt about it. All the way down to the kickers, we've got 2 kickers. And so we drafted a team that we know that it's going to be highly competitive all the way down the line on both sides of the ball. And it's going to evolve. There's going to be guys leaving. There's going to be guys coming in for various reasons along the way. And sometime in early February, we'll find the 54 guys that are going to be part of our football team and the 44 that are going to start the first game. But we're excited about it, and the players are as well. It's really easy to see in their demeanor that they're happy to have a home. They're very appreciative of Plant City and appreciative of this environment that we have. Look at what we have. I mean, we get 3 meals a day, and we go out and have recess every day in this gorgeous weather. And the players and the coaches are really appreciative to be here, and the way the community is wrapped around us here and provided us with this environment to be able to do our job. Who wouldn't want to come to work here every day?
Quarterback Aaron Murray, he's been out of football for a little while. What do you see out of him, and what do you like?
Well, he hasn't been out that long. He did play in the spring, and he got enough playing time for us to see what he can do. I mean, when we evaluate Aaron, I mean, he's one of the leading passers in the history of the SEC. He did it on the largest platform. He threw for over 13,000 yards, and he won. You know, and I think that what we saw of him last year in the AAF is that he has the ability to continue to progress as a quarterback. His journey is, you know, an individual journey unto itself. And I've learned along the way that you never know when a quarterback's going to take a stand and become the guy he thinks he can become. And I say it all the time. Warner came out of the grocery store, and Brady was 199, and you know, Brad Johnson was in Europe and wound up winning a Super Bowl. You don't know how this is going to. Rich Gannon won the MVP, was 34 years old. So who knows? And we have a unanimous feeling about Aaron, that he has the ability that a lot of us haven't seen at the professional level. And we got a couple guys that are also there besides Quentin in Taylor Cornelius and Vincent Testaverde, you know, a local product himself, that we're really high on as quarterbacks. So we got a lot of competition in that room, and you know, Aaron gets the first shot, and he knows it's a competition.
So going back to Tuesday night, you have everyone, including coaches and players, right, in the room for the first time.
Yeah.
You know, kind of paint that picture for me. What's going through your mind?
Well, it wasn't a Newt Rockne speech. It's a great question, though. I mean, I try to provide them with the environment on the first night, with the lifestyle that we're going to lead for the next 24 hours, because they've spent the whole day, they've traveled, they have gone through human resource platform, signing contracts. I'm not going to get up there for an hour and a half and tell them everything. So what I did is I tried to get them through the first 24 hours, how we were going to live, how we were going to work, how we were going to eat, how we were going to sleep, how we were going to live in the hotel, the standards that we were going to have, the respect we were going to have for the people and people in the organization, and I left it at that. And then last night I did the same thing. I hopefully got them through the day. I feel like we did, and I'll do it again. And at some point in time later in the week, I'll show them the calendar, and I'll show them a little bit of the light at the end of the tunnel and how this thing works. But tonight, they're going to go back to their rooms. They don't have any evening meetings because I don't want to kill them. And what they're going to do is they're going to study tonight because they got to be ready for tomorrow. And then the next thing they're going to do, probably some of them are going to watch the game, which is great, because the most important thing we want to do here, even more than football, is to let them get to know each other and get to know each other where they have a relationship with each other, so they're ready down the line to have each other's back and to play for each other, because that's where the sense of urgency in football comes, is you don't want to let the person down next to you. And so that was part of it, Tom. But mostly it was how are we going to live our lives for the next 24 hours. And of course that's going to extend for the next 150 days, but I couldn't get through the 150 in the first night meeting. I'm not trying to be a smart aleck, you know where I'm going there.
If this plays out the way you envision, what kind of style or brand do you think
Yeah,
this team's
you know, I think that to be specific would be, with all due respect to the question, would be ridiculous. I mean, the way I approach it with a team is we want to go out there and play a game that we can be proud of. You know, and that how we're going to be proud of, we're going to play hard, we're going to play fast, we're going to play smart football. And if we play smart and we play fast and hard and we take care of the football, we should walk off the field with a team that not only we can be proud of, but our community can be proud of. Because we should express our love for football in the way we play. But it's not just how hard you hit or how fast you run or the great play you make. There's other aspects of it, like playing smart and taking care of the football, and we need to do that. And if we do that, we're going to walk off the field being proud of our team. Our fans will. We hope they will, because they'll see that we love football just like they love football, because that's why they're out there to watch us, and it's affordable for them to watch us. And we want them, and to feel the same way that we're going to feel, and then that leads to winning, and the scoreboard should take care of itself.
What's it like coaching the son of the guy you kind of started in the league with, his dad?
Well, I had James Wilder's son up in Canada. It's a little bit surreal, but he's a really special young man unto himself. Like his dad, there's nobody more special than his dad and the person and character that he has. But he's obviously a reflection of his dad in so many ways. But he's his own man. Thank you very much for coming today. That means a lot to the guys when they saw you out here. I know it was meaningful, but so thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Going to be playing in the Tampa area again.
It means a lot. For one, like I've been said, I always felt like I'll be back home, just didn't know when. God blessed me with this opportunity to come back and, open up a new league and start all over again, get a fresh start. So it feels good to be back home and just get another opportunity to go in the quarterback room and give it a shot.
Yeah, Mark says that you've got a lot of ability. You'll be used in different ways. Just what do you expect to, in this opportunity?
I'll just say just getting a fair shot. I felt like, at times I didn't have a fair shot. So my thing is just, give a fair shot and just try to help guys that's, on this team. I've been in the NFL for a year and a half, I'll say. I've been around a lot of good dudes, and it was a lot of good dudes, taught me the ropes. So my thing is to just always try to help, others. So, that I'm here, I just try to help others and try to figure out ways to be the best person I could be.
What you learned about that experience in the year and a half that you think has made your game better?
I would say, every day you're going to field, you got to be grateful for that, for one. And two, every opportunity you get, you got to capitalize off it. I learned that from Doc Quez, number 21 from the Bengals. He always told me every time you get your shot, just try to capitalize and continue being you.
So like being a part of something that's brand new that, everyone's kind of wondering how this is going to play out.
I would say it feels good. It feels good. Just coming out here today, seeing the facility, seeing the locker room, seeing the new jerseys when they revealed them. Everything was fun. That's the thing that me and the other guys in this locker room liked it. We just ready to go out there and be, some dogs.
You're back in the green?
Yes, sir.
You've seen the way Tampa can embrace football and can embrace a winner. Just what is it, kind of speak to that a little bit about the football city that you're in?
I would say when I first got here in Tampa, when I first got birthed to Tampa, I would say I had to learn behind a lot of guys, and some of the things I didn't like, but I had to grow up as a young man, as a kid, and try to find ways to be the best person I could be. And I would say, we just want to work, and we just want to win and start something new.
Speaking of which, USF is something that I know you hold close to your heart. You and Rodney Adams and others have been very vocal recently about USF. They made the switch to Charlie. First off, what did you think about that situation, and what would you like to see USF do here?
Me and the guys just want to see USF back to where it was. USF is a young school. It's like 23 years old. It's not that old like Florida State and schools like that. But when we was there, we wanted to give these fans and the Tampa community something to be happy about and cheer about. So it got to a point where guys just got tired of the losing and people talking down about USF, because when I was growing up, I never heard of USF, honestly. So I always wanted to be different. I'm always a guy want to go somewhere and just make a change, not be like everybody else. I just want to be different and, always leave a legacy.
Do you want Willie Taggart to have a chance to maybe return to USF?
No comment on that.
Okay. I know you mentioned you wanted to sit down though with Michael Kelly, the athletic director. Could you speak on that? What would you like that meeting to be? And has anyone reached out from USF?
Me and some of the alumni football players, we all, communicate with each other. We hoping we can, sit down as a alumni football team and have at least, some input on, who we want as our next head coach, or at least talk to him and see how he feels about the new head coach he's going to pick. That's the only thing we want.
What's Mark Trestman like, the coach so far? I mean, it's kind of new for you still, but...
I would say he's different. He's way different from the coaches I have. He's not going to talk a lot. He's not going to do a whole lot of rah-rah. He's just going to sit back and, give you the game and, try to help you be the best person you can be.
The AAF last year's spring league, it didn't necessarily work out. How do you expect the quality of play in the XFL to compare to how the AAF was?
I can't comment on that right now.
Anything else? All right. Thanks, Glenn.
Thanks.
Brutal.
Yeah.
I'm squinting. I apologize.
On this side. Make you look better on TV.
There you go.
So I know it's just the first day, but just kind of being able to get out here with the guys and kind of see this team kind of starting to form. What's that like?
It's awesome. And kind of going back to even the draft, when I saw the players that were drafted from a lot of the guys I played against in the AAF, a lot of guys I played against in college, and saw in the league when playing preseason against them, I'm like, man, we got a team. Like, it's legit. And getting, even that first day, I was talking to a couple of the guys on my Legends team, Shantavius and a few others, and we're like, man, this team looks good. It looks like a bunch of grown men here, from the offensive linemen, defense side of the football. We got big receivers, the tight end group, a bunch of athletic running backs. So really exciting. Got to see the guys run a little bit today, move around. The most impressive thing to me was our playbooks. The formations are a little difficult. I thought our guys did a great job of kind of picking it up, understanding it, going out there and executing, which is tough for day one. A lot of nervous energy out there, but they're all calm, cool, collected, and I thought they did a tremendous job of kind of absorbing everything and going out there and executing.
Is it kind of different? Like, it's not like you're all a bunch of rookies on it. It's like, you know, you've got experience at different places, bodies are a different formation. Is it kind of like, in that sense, kind of a different take?
Yeah, I think guys understand it's all about the details right now, you know, and a lot of guys have had the opportunity to be on NFL rosters, to play in the NFL, to get to their ultimate goal, and I think they understand what it takes to be a professional. And it's those small things, and winning football games and being where you want to be in life. It's about the details, and right now it's grind time. It's not, you know, mess around, go out and check the town out. I mean, there'll be times for that, you know, on an off day. But when you're in the building, when you're working, it's take as many notes as you can, study at home every night. Shoot, I'm staying with Nick Truthdale's my roommate. And we're quizzing each other. You know, he's up in the middle of the night with his phone. I'm going to sleep. I look over. He has his phone, doing flashcards at, like, you know, midnight. So it's grind time.
Aaron, given the fact you've been through this with the AAF, how different is it when the feel for you coming into this situation?
You can tell that this league is a little bit more prepared. They took more time. You know, they weren't trying to rush. I think the AAF, their whole message last year, I remember when we got down to San Antonio, was we beat the XFL to the punch. We're here first. We're the first league. Well, you know, that might not always be the best thing if you don't always, you know, cross everything off and do the right things. And we saw that with just the financial issues that they ran into and not being able to complete an entire season. So I think the XFL took a bunch of the good stuff, figured out what they need to do differently. It's a great feel so far. I think the facilities, I mean, just comparing facilities for us compared to our team in Atlanta, I mean, we were practicing out of high school and working out at, no offense, at an LA Fitness. You know, now we have our own facility. We got our own fields. We got our own weight room. It feels like a more legit team, and I think guys are really appreciative of that and all the money that was put into the XFL, and making sure that we have all the resources that we need to go out there and perform at our best ability.
When family and friends come up to you and say, how's this going to work, what do you tell them?
It's going to work because it's going to be great football. You look at the rosters, and these are just tons of great talent. I think we got some really good local talent too. Guys that played at USF, guys that played at Florida, guys like myself who grew up in Tampa, that played at various high schools, and I'm sure a lot of the same other teams are the same way. And I think a great thing too is the fact that we are on major television networks. I mean, every single Saturday and Sunday it's going to be on Fox. It's going to be on ABC. It's going to be on ESPN, FS1. I mean, it's going to be so easy for someone on a Saturday or Sunday who wants to watch football to turn on their TV. They don't need, you know, DirecTV or any of this other stuff. You just, boom, regular cable, we'll be on TV. So I think it's a great opportunity for guys to get some good exposure and for fans to follow along.
Being the quarterback of this team, you probably take on some responsibilities for kind of pulling everybody together. You know, what kinds of, if any, bonding experiences have you guys had so far?
Just a lot of working. I mean, I have 3 or 4 guys that live in Atlanta that come. Even Nick Truthdale came down from his place in the Northwest, and he came for a week to work. So I think guys, like I said earlier, they want to get after it. They want to learn the playbook. They want to make sure our timing's on. So, you know, we've been working our tails off, and like I said, even at the hotel now. You know, last night a bunch of the QBs, we got together and we're going over the plays. We're quizzing each other. The receivers are quizzing each other. They'll come and hang out with the quarterbacks and us in our room, like, hey, quiz us on this. Let's work on the formations. Let's work on the plays. What are you guys looking for? So I think it's more about right now just communication. And I just don't see anyone being that shy guy who's worried about asking the wrong question or embarrassed. I think guys understand we're all the new guys in the locker room. That's something that Coach told us yesterday. No one here is a veteran. We're all learning this at the same time, so there's no dumb questions. There's no feeling awkward or anything like that because we're all in the same position. I think guys have really appreciated that, and they're willing to kind of put themselves out there, which is a great thing.
But a guy like Quentin, I know you probably answered your question, but I mean, he seems so athletic, dynamic, he can be used any way you want.
Yes, all over the place. I mean, he can fling it too. We were just messing around at the hotel yesterday. We got in, and we're throwing it back and forth. I mean, he can fling it. We all know how athletic he is. We've seen the highlights. I mean, I watched. I would always stay up with USF, because my parents would go to games. I had friends that went to USF and played there, so I'd watch. And he's a talent. I mean, football is easy. You get the ball to your best players as much as possible. I mean, it's people make it complicated, but that's all it is. Get them the ball in space and see what they can do. And he's one of those guys where you get the ball in a swing route, you put him at quarterback, let him throw it. You put him at quarterback, wildcat stuff, zone read, whatever you want to do. He's going to make dudes miss, and he's going to make some big plays for us this season.
Sweet.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Shout out Dan Williams.
Thanks so much for listening in. The XFL will be officially kicking off the very first week of February right after the Super Bowl, with the Tampa Bay Vipers facing the New York Guardians on February 9th at 2 p.m. on Fox. Stay tuned.